24/7 around the world, non-stop. This is UYI Radio. Unlock your inner genius. www.uyiradio.com.
So my name's Nadia. That's pronounced Cenci. It's Italian. I'm a confidence and performance coach. I'm also a licensed NLP practitioner. But a month ago, I decided I was going to go and work for Suffolk College. Don't say boo. I don't know whether you're rival or not. So I work in the business development section there, and I'm doing training and coaching for businesses, and I'm working with young people, and I'm working with apprentices and businesses trying to match up the right apprentice. So it's very involved. I'm a little bit tired. It's been a heavy day, but I'm going to do my best. And I do go off track sometimes because I like to get a feel in the room of what I think you might want to get out of it. So I'm just going to ask for a couple of volunteers as to what you want from the evening. What is it that you're hoping to get from these 2 sessions? Is it 2 sessions? Yes. Yeah, 3 sessions. Okay, so anyone want to volunteer what they hope to get from here? You said inspiration, so we'll start with that one. James.
Yes. How can I be successful?
Nice and simple.
Yeah.
Nice and simple. I like it. Anybody else? Yes? Motivation. Yeah, that's a biggie, isn't it? Because as human beings, we love to procrastinate. We'll put anything off. We'll make endless cups of teas. We'll pretend that things are not quite right and need to be absolutely perfect before we carry on. Any excuse to procrastinate. But if you do what you love, and you find something that you're really passionate about, and you find your gift to the world, then you will love every day and you won't procrastinate. You'll have your bad days, we all do. But in the main, you'll be jumping out of bed in the morning and you'll be raring to go in those days. So that's the real secret to success. It's not to do what your parents want you to do, not to do what is expected of you, not to give up on some dreams, as long as it's not flying to the moon without, any equipment or something ridiculous. My session is about having those dreams, and whether it's a hobby of a dream or whether it's your career, but it's knowing where you want to go. This is the crucial thing. It's knowing where you want to go. And there's a little bit of NLP in here. Now put your hand up if you know what NLP is. Yeah. Put your hand up if you've ever had NLP or someone's taught you NLP. Yeah, so you know a bit, Okay, so very quickly, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. Neuro is your brain and how you feed in information and how you filter that information, and it's your view of the world. So all of you are sitting here, you're going to be watching the same thing for the next hour and a half, but you'll all come away with something different. You'll see something different. You'll understand something different. Because you've got your own filters, all depending on your education, your friends, your experiences, and life, and things that have happened to you. The linguistic bit is language, and it's language you say to yourself. This is my big biggie. It's language you say to yourself, it's language you say to other people, it's how you talk to yourself on a daily basis. Are you kind to yourself? Do you hear what you say? A lot of it's at a subconscious level. And to slow it all down, you have to really understand how your mind is working. That's a massive part, the L part, it's massive. So we won't be able to go into that, but I'm always happy to come back and talk a bit more. The P bit is the programming. And a lot of the programming is to do with anchors. So, for instance, you might hear a bit of music and it takes you back to a memory. You might smell a perfume or an aftershave and you immediately think of a person. So there's a lot of anchoring. And what we do in life is we anchor stuff and it gets embedded, and it can be bad stuff. We might have a bad experience. For instance, let's say alcohol. If you've had a bad experience with someone that drinks, they're violent or angry, then after a while you'll start feeling scared of just anybody who smells of alcohol because you've anchored it. So what we have to do is we have to undo those subconscious things that sabotage us and do us harm and put something good back in its place. So I'll talk a lot about visualisation. It is so important to learn how to visualise. So the very first thing you have to do, and let me just see if I can get away with it like that, yeah. So the first thing you have to do to be successful is have some goals and some aims. Now, I can't emphasise enough the importance of having written goals. You have to spend some time on this, spend some time on yourself and your life, and write down your goals. And what I mean by that is not some wishy-washy goal, and nor is it something that's a bit vague, like more money, or a really nice house, or a flashy car. It has to be specific. You have to be able to see it. You have to know exactly what it looks like. And alongside that, you also have to know how you'll feel when you get it. This is really important. You need to, the motivation comes from running it as if it's a movie in your head, so that you can almost taste it. You've got to juice yourself up about it. So it might be that you hear your parents saying, "Oh, well done, I'm so proud of you. That was good. Oh, I'm telling everybody about you, what you've achieved." It could be your friends, your peers saying that. It could be you rewarding yourself. Whatever it is, whatever that ultimate goal, that ultimate aim is, you need to know what you can see, what you can hear, and what you can feel. And it mustn't be something that you don't want. Because what you don't want is what you're going to have. If you say, I don't want to be poor, you're telling yourself the word poor. In the L bit, that's really important. The language that you use is what you're going to focus on. So if you constantly tell yourself what you shouldn't be doing or what you shouldn't be having, that's what you'll end up doing. And there's that old saying, isn't there, don't think of a pink elephant. What you're thinking of, a pink elephant. So you must have your goals written. It's what you want, not what you don't want. It must be written in the present tense as if you've already got it. And you need to be visualising, which I'll talk about later a bit more. So you need to know how you're going to feel as well. And then we talk about barriers after that. This bit is just so important. It makes a huge difference. Even if you just write a question on the top. How do I know I am successful? How will I know I am successful? And write everything down. And they might be short-term goals, they might be long-term goals, there might be an overarching goal, and then there's little goals that reach up to it, like your qualification, your degree, whatever it is that you're doing. And put down your dreams. It's not just one goal, you've got lots of goals. You can do any of them. Any of them. So who can tell me what are the two most difficult things you'll ever learn in your life? Ever. The two most difficult things. I know where that's coming from. No, this is from a really early age. Really early age. No. Walk? Did you say?
Yes.
And talk, yeah. Talking and walking are the two most difficult things you'll ever do. You might not think that learning that takes place is massive. So once you've done that, you're geniuses in your own right. You can do anything that you want to do as long as it's a realistic goal. I could talk forever just on that part, I really could. Okay, the next part is consistent action. Nothing happens without the action. Nothing. You can sit there writing your goals to kingdom come and procrastinate, but there has to be action. And the best way of doing that is to write down the very first thing that you need to do. The very first step. What is it? Is it a phone call? Is it get your books in order? Is it tidy up your room so that you can study better? Is it buy something? Is it talk to somebody? Is it get help? Is it research? Just put that first thing down and do it immediately. Once you get going, that motivation stays there. There's something called Kaizen. Have you heard of that? Anybody heard of that? It's a Japanese word meaning small improvements every day. Nothing has to be overwhelming. If your action is one big, huge thing, then break it down into smaller parts. So I'm going to give you an example, and I think I gave this example last year, but I had a room in my house that was really messy. It was a spare room, and it got messier and messier, and everything that we had that we couldn't be bothered to find a place for, we stuck in this room in a box. And there was this little pathway to a bed. So when people came to stay, there was like this, just make your way to that bed over there, to get the boxes. And then one day I thought, I'm sick of this, I keep closing the door. I've got a room that I won't even look in. I've closed the door, I'm embarrassed with it, and now nobody's coming to stay because I keep saying I've got no room. So I'm going to do something about it. So my aim, a big why, W-H-Y. Everything you do has to have a big why. It won't happen unless it's your why and it's your benefits. So in my head it was, I want to redecorate the room. I want to redecorate the room, I want new furniture, I want a nice new bed, I want to be proud and I want to open that door and I'm going to feel really pleased with myself. But it was so overwhelming, every time I went in there it was, I'll do it tomorrow. And the next time, I'll do it next week. So I decided I was going to do one thing at a time, one box a day. And I literally went in, picked up the box, took it to my living room, closed the door, sorted it out, throw away, keep, done. Next day, the same thing. It was about 20 days. But I did it because I chunked it down into smaller, manageable pieces. And in fact, the last bit, I think I did 3 boxes in one go because I could see the end was there. So if you've got a big job, some big action that you're procrastinating about, chunk it down into smaller bits and then just take the first bit and you'll be so pleased with yourself that you'll carry on. So consistent action, Kaizen, is about those small, every day, do something. Every day. Don't miss. And eventually, the momentum and the synergy, you'll get there easily, as well, easier than you think. Passion. If you really are doing something you don't want, hello. If you're really doing something you don't want, and you need to do it, then you're going to have to find some other motivational factors. So I have lots of different ways of doing that. If I'm not doing something I'm passionate about, sometimes I write out a cheque to an organisation. You guess which one it is, can't you? The opposition. I write out a cheque and... Is that yours? So I have a cheque ready for an organisation that I absolutely loathe, and I say if I don't get it done, that cheque's going to go off. That's the moving away from pain type of motivation. So you've got 2 motivations, moving towards pleasure and moving away from pain. The moving away from pain is usually the catalyst. Smoking, doctor tells you you're going to be really unhealthy and you might want to live until you're 60 or whatever. That's a catalyst. But to actually keep up that motivation, you've got to have a big why and moving towards pleasure. And then it will come. But if you're going to do something you're passionate about anyway, it will be a juggle. That's important. Attitude. Okay, so what do you need to improve? Could be timekeeping. It could be focus. It could be that you say yes to everybody and you don't really want to say yes to everybody. You're Mr. Kind, but I can see you've got a kind face and you're nodding. That's you, isn't it? Yeah? Will you do this? But yes, of course I will. Just pause. Take a breath. I'll get back to you. I'll have a look and see if I can help you. Don't make yes your automatic thing. If you've got things to do, you need to sometimes say no and think of yourself. But it might be something else. It might be you get tired easily because you're up late. Perhaps you're going out drinking. I don't think that would happen in a room full of students at all. But that could be one of the things, is that you're wearing yourself out. When you write your goals down and your action plan, something just switches. It's like, no, actually, I'm not going to come out with you tonight. Because you've planted seeds in your brain of what it is you want to achieve. And it happens more naturally when you've written it down and you've visualised. Don't forget this visualisation, we're going to be doing that. Behavioural flexibility. So this is the L bit again, the linguistics. At the end of every day even, or the end of every week, what have I done really well this week? What have I been good at? What have I achieved towards my goals? What's not been aligned with my goals? Learn some lessons. Where have you wasted some time? Do you keep looking at your emails? Do you keep looking at your phone? Do you keep going on Facebook when there's something else you should be doing? There's a couple of nods around the room, as I thought there would be. Discipline. Discipline. And the thing I love about attitude as well is that if you put a number by the side of the letter where they are in the alphabet, so A is 1, T is 14 or something, 10, you go all the way through, D is 4, E is 5, and you add it all up, it comes to exactly 100. 100%. Isn't that great? So the word attitude means you give it 100%. But sometimes things happen and we can't help it because it's at a subconscious level. Our intentions are so good, but every now and again we sabotage ourselves, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later when we talk about visualisation. The last one is measurement. So, as I've said, review every now and again. Look at your goals regularly. And by that I don't mean New Year's resolutions, I mean your written goals. Go down, what have I done? Tick them off. What do I need to change? What didn't quite work? I've got to be true to myself. I've put some goals here and I'm just not going to do them at the moment. But if you learn to visualise, then it all becomes a bit more real. So, let me ask you this. Who in the room actually visualises? I thought you would. Great. Yeah. Now, when you visualise, do you visualise looking at yourself, or do you visualise it as if it's through your own eyes? Through your own eyes? Well done. Right, I just need one volunteer. And I'm so glad you're here, because if they don't put their hands up, I'm going to grab one here. And she's going, no. But I was actually pointing to Kevin or Natalie. I wouldn't be so cruel. But anyone want to volunteer to come up here? What's your name? Kingsley. Come up here, Kingsley. Right, if you don't mind, just take your jacket off, just so that you don't mind. This is good, isn't it? Right. Okay, now this is very simple. I'm not asking you to do anything too difficult. But I want you to put your finger out like that. Okay? And then by keeping your head in front of you, I want you to turn your hand around as far as it will go. But keep your whole body and your head facing frontwards. Just go all the way around until it doesn't want to go anymore. Okay? Right, put your hand down. Now I want you to close your eyes, make sure your feet slightly apart so you don't fall over. Close your eyes. And I want you to visualise yourself doing it. And I want you to visualise it stretching all the way around. All the way around, not in an exorcist type of way, to everybody out, but as far as you can go. See yourself doing it. Oh wow, superhuman. Just going to give you a little moment to think about that. Feel it, really feel it as if you're doing it. Right, now put your hand in front of you and try that again. Same arm, try that again. Keep your eyes open if you want to open them up. You go. You can do a bit more. That's it. There you go. Stretching much more. Now sometimes when you do it, it can go. Visualise now. So it goes that much further because you have told us. Thank you. Well done. So, learning to visualise. This is the next bit. For those of you who are quite comfortable doing this, close your eyes. For those of you that want to keep your eyes open, that's fine. I don't think you'll visualise quite as good. And I'm going to take you back to somewhere that you know very well. Okay, so go back to your living room or a room in your house that's quite big, got things in it, and be in the middle of the room. So you're standing there, you're looking through your eyes at a wall. And you're looking at what's on that wall. And you're looking around, and you're going to start to do a 360-degree turn, looking at everything in the room, from the ceiling to the floor. And you're going to see the pictures that are there, you're going to see the furniture that's there, you're going to see the ornaments that are there, windows, light coming in, television, your belongings, whether it's tidy, whether it's untidy. Go all the way around, and when you get back to the beginning, I don't want you to open your eyes, I just want you to do a nod, so I know when you're there. So do a 360-degree turn, all the way around, until you get back to the beginning. Okay, now I want you to do it again. This time I want you to put sounds in. Traffic, people talking, television's on, music. I want you to smell the dinner. Smell the dinner that's being cooked. Smell your favourite dinner that's being cooked. wafting under your nose. There might be someone saying, your dinner's ready, that would be quite nice. Think of the sunlight, go all the way around the room, pick things up, touch them, feel their temperature, feel their texture. Put them back down, hear the noise. See what you like in the room, see what you don't like in the room, so there's emotions. See those things you really love in the room, things that annoy you, and walk all the way around. And then when you get back to the beginning, gradually open your eyes. Okay, that is proper visualisation. All your senses, your sight, your hearing, your smell, you could even pretend to taste something. And practice that because this is what you need to do with your goals. And you have to actually already be there. Now, if you think that this is strange stuff, I'm going to assure you that this will ensure that you reach your goals hundreds of times more than if you don't do it. Sportswomen, when they're injured, they practice by visualisation. And it's the brain and the body are interlinked. So when you practice those moves in your head, you're literally practicing it with your body. And that's how they keep up their practice. If they're not able to move around because they're injured, they'll do it in their mind. Good sports people, good competitive people, visualise everything all the time. And the footballers, they'll visualise taking that penalty, they'll visualise those free kicks. Tennis players do the same thing. Visualise where that ball's going to go. Visualise everything about their game. And you can do the same with your goals. And that's why you need to know what they look like exactly. Because otherwise you'll miss out one of those senses. You need to know what it looks like. You need to know what it feels like. You need to know what you're going to be hearing. You need to know what you're going to be smelling. Do you want to live by the sea? What does the sea smell like? Can you see how that would make you want it so much more than if it's just, oh, I'd like to live by the sea? It's really in capturing everything and picturing a movie as if you're already there. So let me just read a couple of things from here that can happen and that sabotage us, and that's that feeling of resistance. So let me give you an example. Sometimes when people start their own business and they want to earn a lot of money, for some reason they feel guilty about earning the money. There's like a resistance there. It's like, ooh, profits, ooh, greed, ooh, capitalism. And they get all funny about it and all, ooh, I don't want to be that person. And then people won't like me because I'll be rich and they'll be jealous and they'll dislike me. And all these things come into place. Own that. Whatever it is that you want to achieve, but you're scared of some of the repercussions, then you have to own it. And you own it by asking yourself a couple of questions. What will happen if I receive this, if I manage to get this goal? And what will happen if I don't manage? Change what happens, you can change how you react, and you can change your action. Which bit of it do you need to do right now in order to succeed? You know more than anyone what you need to do to really succeed. It is in the moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. Your decisions and your behaviour are matched by your values and beliefs. So you'll have a set of values that will be really important to you and they will shape your behaviour. So for instance, if freedom is one of your top values, you might think, why should I have to go somewhere every day? Why should I have to be answerable to someone? Why can't I just go off travelling and do whatever it is I want to do? You know, if honesty is one of your top values, then again that will shape your behaviour and it will shape your actions. So another good thing to do is to really look at what's important to you. What are your values? There's a whole exercise on this. It's a huge exercise, but it's so invaluable. What are your top values? And sometimes you'll look at it and you'll know there's something missing. You know, I had a client once and she had all, there's no right or wrong, but she had a good set of values, hard-working, determined, it went down, there's about 20 of them. And I said, where's fun? Where's the fun in your life? She went, oh, you're right, I don't have fun. I don't have any fun. So I said, right, we're going to stick that at the top of the tree now. You're going to have a week where fun takes top priority over everything. Everything you do has got to be fun or you're not going to do it. Well, that was hard for her, but she did it. And that helped her to see that you can have fun and work hard. You really can. You can't build a reputation on what you're going to do. It's got to be what you do. So you need to have that set of plans and you need to follow it through. And you need to review it and you need to ask yourself questions every day. Where did I waste time today? What could I have done better today? What have I done towards my goals? And it can be the tiniest of things. Just one little thing towards that overall goal. And you'll get into your stride. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's probably my half hour. Is that my half hour?
Just about.
Just about, because I was going to say if there were any questions about anything. Anybody got any questions? Just quickly before I pass you over.
That is, when we use NLP, can we see like immediate results, or it needs to?
No, NLP can be immediate. It depends what part you're using. The P part can be immediate. The P part, the programming, can be immediate. Kevin can actually tell you about, and we were talking about it earlier, about a football team that I coached for him. And
I'm happy to share it.
Share it, because some of it was immediate.
I've known Nadia for some years. I met Nadia probably about 12 years ago. At that time, I was coaching a youth football team. So, and these young lads, they were 12 years old. They played in Division 2 of their league, and they'd finished a season where they'd finished mid-table. So they weren't doing any great things, but they all wanted to improve and become better footballers. I introduced these young lads, who were 12 years old, it was a boys' football team, to Nadia, who in the pre-season, before they kicked a football, were put together in a room, and 12-year-old boys were asked to visualise how they could improve each element of their game. And I think Nadia spent somewhere in the region of 4 weeks, and in sessions of no more than a half an hour with these 12-year-old boys. So, previous season, these boys finished 6th in Division 2. The next season, they finished top of Division 2. They were unbeaten all season, and they scored 150 goals. These are the same boys who the previous season had finished mid-table. One of the most remarkable and amazing sort of transformations that had occurred. Nadia had some part to play in that. It was all about getting the coaching right. It was all about their attitude towards wanting to improve that really made the difference. The interesting thing for me was, in the next season, they went up to the higher level. They were promoted. They finished 5th in Division 1 the following season. And the season beyond that, they finished 3rd, and they won the Ipswich and Suffolk Knockout Cup, which was an amazing achievement. So the journey started over a series of short sessions and then had an amazing impact that repeated itself year after year once these young lads knew the technique.
Thank you very much. So, the visualisation is very, very, very important, and I was going to add something else there about visualisation, if I remember it. That's gone. Because I'm older now, so I forget things. Never mind, it was quite important actually. But yes, so have a look at NLP, go and find out about it,